hydraulic design of sphere. So lastly we discussed about the charts, that is the comparison charts. Now I am showing you, this is the nomograms. You see the nomograms based on the Manning's formula. That means how to use these nomograms. The left one scale, which is giving, it is giving the discharge, that is the Q in liters per second. And second one, the diameters of conduit in centimeter. In the nomogram chart, third one is the slope, that is S. And the last one, rightmost one, which you are seeing, observing the velocity in meter per second. So this is the nomograms which as per your syllabus is concerned. There is nomograms based on the Manning's formula. This I am showing the figure for corresponding to n equal to 0.013. Similarly, n equal to 0.014, 0.015 for various values of n. There are the nomograms are there. So corresponding to n values, we have to see that particular nomogram. Now, how to use these things? You see, for getting the value from these nomograms, minimum two value you have to know, because to draw a straight line, you have to have the 2 points. Suppose you know the diameter as well as slope, so 2 point is there. Joining these two straight lines, if we extend these lines in both ways, and it will cut the section corresponding to the scale. That means from this joining the straight lines, extending the straight line of the 2 points, the remaining 2 parameter can be found out from this nomogram. That is the basic utility of this nomogram. From this nomogram also we can find out the parameter related with the design of the sphere, that I am going to tell. So these nomograms, this is the significance of the nomograms in design of spheres, which is in your syllabus. Now, in continuation of the numerical sums which we are discussing, let me discuss another problem today. This is the concluding part of the 12th lecture, concluding part of the design of spheres. So, this is the question given is the 350 millimeter diameter sphere is there, and the proportion ratio of the depth, that is it is again a problem of partial flow which I am telling you. That is the 0.35 depth. That means small d by capital D is 0.35, because it is given in the question very distinctly that the flow at 0.35 depth on a grade ensuring a degree of self-using equivalent to that obtained at full depth at velocity 0.8 meter per second. That is given, the full depth velocity is given, and the proportion depth and the diameter of the sphere. These three things are stated in the questions. You are asked to find out the required grade, that is the slope. Yes, you have to find out on that flow. That means that partial flow, where the flow is 0.35 times of the total depth, and the associated velocity is small v. The rate of discharge at the depth, that is the small q, and given the coefficient of rigidity coefficient, that is the n value of Manning's formula, is given in these questions. So proportionate area, how would you proportionate area? It is given because the table is not given to you in the exam, so you will not get the table. So definitely the proportionate area, small a by a, and the proportionate weighted perimeter, that is small p by p, and smaller by r, it is also given in the question, because you don't have the table. So these values you have to given in the exam, otherwise you can't solve this problem. So at full depth, v equal to 0.8 meter per second, that is also stated in the question. Now for d equal to 350 millimeter, that means 0.35 meter, small d by d 0.35, that is given in the question. And all these things given in the question, a by a, p by p, r by r, all this given in the question. Now let us consider the full flow of the sphere, that is the full depth flow, that is in capital letter, the abbreviation all will be using. V equal to 1 by n, r to the power 2/3, s to the power half, or square root of it. At full flow, what you know, that v is given in 0.8, n value given in the question 0.014, d by 4 is the hydraulic radius, that is given in the question, d is 0.35 meter. Only unknown factor is the s, that is the square root portion. So equating this question, you have to find out, you will get the value of the s, that is 3.234 into 10 to the power minus 3. Fine. Now for that means this s which you have found out, that is the gradient, that is the slope of the sphere running in full condition. That's why it is denoted as capital S. Now for a sphere to be the same self-clearing velocity at 0.35 meter depth, as it is mentioned that at 0.5 depth, the same self-cleaning velocity is to be maintained. So now what we have maintained in full depth, then we have the hydraulic gradient formula small s, which we have shown earlier lecture, is capital R by smaller into S. Now capital R by smaller is already given in the question. So smaller by capital R already given in the question. So capital R by smaller will be the inverse of that 0.7705. So 1 by 0.7705. And capital S just we have found out for the full flow. So from that expression capital R by smaller into capital S, we can find out the gradient, that is the slope of the partial flow. Considering that the self-cleaning velocity at 0.35 meter depth will be at full depth. So then only we can apply this SS by S is equal to capital R by smaller into S. We have to take care of this expression, which I have shown you in my earlier 11 lecture also. So the smallest means the gradient, that is the slope of that sewer, which is partial flow design consideration, that is the 0.35 times of that we have found out. Now the velocity generated at the gradient of 0.35 is given by, again the formula is Vs equal to capital N by N, R by R into capital V. This velocity expression we can just dividing that two aspects, one for the full square flow, another for the partial flow. If you divide these things, then it will be in this flow will come, this expression will come. Now N by N is same because it has been assumed that constant irrespective of the depth of the flow, it is not going to change. R by R also given, and V already we have found out, already given in the quotient quantity. So Vs will be given that 0.765 meter per second. That is given. So velocity generated corresponding to the gradient at 0.35 meter depth, that is given 0.65 meter per second. Now what is Q? Next portion, obviously A into Vs. So A we know 0.35 into capital A, that is 0.3, because small a by capital A is given in the question. What is small a? 0.15 into the capital A, that we have just put, and corresponding to this 0.765 Vs, we have got the Qs is 0.023 cubic meter per second. So this is the thing. This problem, if comes, that can be taken care, that can be tackled in this way. Now next question. More and more complicated problem we are entering into from the simplified form to give you a better clarification of the hydraulic design of the sewer, because more you go entered into the numerical sums, the clarification will be most, because the design part is basically problematic part, not the theoretical part. That's why I am going through in details various types of critical problems, so that the conception may be conception will be grown in a very very effective manner, so that you can well understand about the inner part of what is basically the hydraulic design of the sewer. So the question in my discussion that I am going to deliberate to you, that a main combined sewer means where the sewage and the I mean to say the storm water, draining water will also flow in a single sewer line. That is called the combined sewer. It carries the sewage water as well as rainwater, as I have mentioned in my very beginning lecture. So this is the problem of this combined sewer. Area is given. Why area is given? Because to calculate the stormwater discharge. And the population is given. Why population is given? Because it is required to calculate the sewage discharge. Sewage discharge, for the calculation of sewage discharge, the population is required. And for the stormwater discharge, the square kilometer of that area, catchment area is required. These two fundamental parameters are required. Average rate of sewage flow is given. Average rate of sewage flow also is given. Very good. The maximum flow is 50% in excess of the average, together with rainfall equivalent of 12 meter in 24 hours, out of which are runoff, all of which are runoff. So no infiltration is there. Every flow is runoff. Let us assume that this is given in the question, not assume. What should be the capacity of the sewer? That means the combined sewer diameter we have to find out. This is question number 1. Let me solve the question number 1 first. Question number first part 1, then part 2 question I will come back. how to solve this problem? Population of the area, first you have to find out what population. It is given that population per hectare, am I right? What is it? That is the 150 persons per hectare. That means total population. You multiply it with the area, then you will be given the total population. So in this way, by population per hectare into the area, and it has been transformed into the square meter, because 1 hectare is 10⁴ square meter. 1 hectare is 10⁴ square meter. So this is the, I mean to say, the hectare, how many hectare is given in this question? 60 kilometer square kilometer. So 60 square kilometer means 60 10⁴ 60. So this is the conversion of square kilometer. I have converted into the hectare. So then we have multiplied by capita per hectare, and we have concluded, we have found out the population of the area in parcels. Now it is given the one average usage has already been given in the question. What is that? Average usage means average sewage flow. Average sewage flow is given 350 liters per capita per day. So once you know the population, so definitely you can get the sewage quantity, that is 350 liters into capita. So that the process has been done, just to you multiply with the capita with the liters per capita, and you have to find out the average sewage flow. And this is the average sewage flow you have found out. Now you have to consider for sewage design flow, you have to, the peak factor you have multiplied several times, I discussed here. The peak factor multiplied is 1.5. So what is the maximum sewage flow for the design? In the design case, you have to consider the 1.5 times into 4.5, that is a 6.75. Now the one part we have done, it is a combined sewer. Very beginning I am going to tell, this is a design of the combined sewer. That means it is sewage portion I have calculated, but a stormwater portion needs to be added. What is that? Now area, that is 60 into 10⁶ meter square converted. Then intensity is, one is meter square and another is meter, that is 12 millimeter is rainfall. So converted into its meter. So you multiply the rainfall into the area. So definitely you will get, and divided by the time interval through which the raining occurs per day. I am telling per day. So definitely Qmax will be obtained. And in this particular case, it has to be highlighted that no peak factor, no multiplying factor has been done. What multiplying factor has to be taken care only for the sewerage flow, not for the storm flow. So when I am adding the storm flow, the exact storm quantity, that is the 8.33 Qmax, has to be added with the maximum sewerage flow, which is the design quantity of discharge 15.08 after adding that two flow, that is the maximum sewerage flow, and the combined sewerage flow, that is actual, that is 8.33. Adding these two figures, 15.028 Qmax, we have got the maximum flow in the combined sewer. Once the maximum flow is the combined sewer, then this is one answer. What is the maximum flow of the combined sewer? This is one answer is asked for in the question. Now second question, let me see the second part, because the questions have the two parts. One thing, the average, it is already given the what should be the capacity of the sewer, means what is the discharge sewer in cubic meter per second. That answer has already been found out. In the second part, let's see, of the same question. Now minimum velocity and gradient required to transport coarse sand, that is the inorganic particle, whose diameter is given, sewer diameter is given, and the particle diameter, that means the sand particle diameter, is also given along with the specific gravity, and K for sand is also given, and the rugosity coefficient given. So what you have to find out, the minimum velocity and gradient you have to find out. So how to tackle this problem? Now the minimum self-cleaning velocity, the formula which you have learned earlier in my very beginning lectures, 1 by n r whole to the power 16 d dash g minus 1. N is given in the question, K is given in the question, G is given in the question, d dash, that means the sand grain particles diameter, that is also given in the question. So everything is given in the questions, and smaller also you can get d by 4 hydraulic radius smaller, means d by 4, d diameter is given in this question part 2. So smaller is also given in the question. So all these putting the values of N, K, G, D, smaller, you will get the value of Vs. Vs, what Vs comes? Vs comes as 0.46 meter per second. So that means the minimum velocity required for the sphere to be self-spinning is 0.46 meter per second. So this is a typical problem where the minimum velocity you have to find out. I am showing you with this formula, using this formula. Now, the remaining things slope you have to find out. That is the another question you have to find out in the part 2 answers. So you will apply the again the Manning's formula, V equal to 1 by n r to the power 2/3 s to the power half. Now here no change in n viscosity coefficient with the flow of water. So let us assume that 0.012 here. Moreover, here it is given as 0.012 d n. So r we know that d by 4, that means the 0.1 meter. So v we also know, only thing is that s is unknown, n is known, r is known, s is unknown. So s is 1 in 1523. That will be the answer of S. Now I am just going now a different type of stormwater drainage, design of the stormwater drainage. There is a way open trapezoidal channel, something a different type of problem. I am just showing you how to solve this a different type of problem. This is the trapezoidal section where the stormwater flows. Because it is open channel, I am showing you open excavated channel with lining. How to take care of this design of this channel. So this is very interesting that I am showing you. So first I just described on the question, very important question that I must discuss in this lecture. Design an unlined trapezoidal section, that means it is not lined, and suppose earthen trapezoidal section by excavating the earth. Unlined trapezoidal section for the rainfall which open for an open urban storm water drain. It is a problem of storm water drain, not the sewer water. So a different test, I am just showing you a different type of design with the how these open trapezoidal sections for the urban stormwater drain can be designed. Draining and catchment area, it has been told that 120 hectares is the catchment area, and the data are given inlet time which will be required for time of concentration calculation. Then the flow time, this is also required for the time of concentration calculation, inlet time plus the flow time. Coefficient of runoff C is given, design of water surface slope. So gradient is also given. The drain has to be designed for a 5 years rain frequency and is situated near a place for which depth duration curves are available, from which the rainfall for 48-minute duration is read out to be 52 millimeter for 5 years frequency. That statistical data have been reviewed. That is the for 48-minute duration, it has been seen that the rainwater precipitation is 52 millimeter for 5 years frequency. Some frequency 5 years it has been obtained. The drain, the last point is given in the question. The drain is to be constructed in cutting with a maximum permissible flow velocity at 0.9 meter per second. So for calculating these things, as inlet time and the flow time is given, so goes without saying that we have to first calculate the time of concentration, because time of concentration is the maximum time given for calculation of the stormwater flow. This is the time just the storm water start to flow in the surface runoff that we have seen. So what is the formula of the time of concentration? We know that the inlet time plus flow time, that is the time of concentration. So inlet time is given here is the 18 minutes, and the flow time throughout the drain is given in the question 30 minutes. So total time of concentration is 40 minutes. That means the critical rainfall corresponding to this 48 minutes duration will be our design criteria, and it is given. It is given in the question that for in 48 minutes. Why it is given? If you see the point number 5, it is given. Point number 5, in 48-minute duration, the critical in for 5 years frequency, the rainfall is 52 millimeter. That means you have to take the precipitation 52 millimeter, and as for the intensity centimeter per hour, you have to convert the millimeter. 52 millimeter divided by 48 minutes, because duration was 48 minutes, and ultimately it is converted into, you will give give the figure in the intensity 6.5 centimeter per hour. Now the rational formula that was also discussed in my very beginning lecture, the rational formula which are mostly used to calculate the stormwater flow discharge, that is the 1 by 36, that this is the conversion factor. KPC means the intensity. Sometimes it can be used as KIA or KPCA. So 1 by 36, K is given in the question 0.6, I you have already calculated 6.5, and the A is given, that is the, I think, A in hectare 120, it is given in the question. Yes, in formula, the rational formula, A is in hectare, so 120 hectare is given in the question. Directly you put and you find out the peak storm runoff, that is the 13 cumecs. Fine. Now come to the point of the cross-sectional area of the trapezoidal section. So if you see, this is the Y, this is the B. So if this is the then if it is 45 degree, let us assume it is a 40 degree, so it is an isosceles triangle. So if vertical height of the water is S, then from that horizontal Y also, how will you get? If it is 1:1, that is a 45 degree angle, so slope is 1:1. So the B equal to the top width of the is very interesting to just consider the geometrical section of the canal. So then only you'll be able to go ahead with the design part, unless and until the cross section of the part is not clear. So you will not get fun to solve this problem. So first of all, B is the bottom width, so it is very clear. And from the geometry, it is seen the horizontal portion of the, that is the top width is B plus 2Y, because of the 1:1 slope, that is the 45 degree angle that you can see. So considering with this geometrical profile, I am just going to add one thing, that is Y equal to 0.5 square root of B. Y equal to 0.5 square root of B. How it is? Because Y equal to 0.5 square root of B. So this from this geometrical expression, because this automatically will be coming Y equal to 0.5 square root of B. So Y is given in now assuming the depth of Y of 1.5 meter, here also let us assume the depth of 1.5 meter, and using equation let us have a width of the drain B. So Y equal to Y, let us have, it is an assumption in the design. First of all, you have to assume some depth of the water, which is 1.5. So here if you consider the depth of the water Y 1.5, then only you can arrive the bottom width of the drain equal to B equal to 9 meter. Okay, that equation can be derived from the geometrical shape Y equal to 0.5 root over B, and for that the assumption value of Y, you can find out the value of B, which is the bottom width of the B. Let us now assume the side slope is 1 inch is to 1 V, as I told you, and the longitudinal slope is 1 in 3000. It is also not given in the, yes, it is given in the question, no assumption. Design of water surface slope is 1 in 3000, that is given in the question. Fine. Now using n equal to 0.025 Manning's formula, the discharge through this drain, because whenever you are going to design the trapezoidal section on any open channel section for carrying out the storm water, first of all you have to know what is the discharge through this channel, whether it can be accommodated to this section. So that means the ultimately we have to find out the discharge. Now what is A? A is nothing but B plus Y into Y. A means the area of the trapezoidal section. So for geometrically we can derive this A equal to in terms of B and Y expression, that is the B plus Y into Y. B is already calculated 9 meter with an assumption value of 1.5 meter, and for that corresponding Y equal to 1.5 meter, that is the water depth. The value of A coming 15.75. Similarly, from the geometrical shape of the trapezoidal section, you can find out the perimeter equal to B plus twice square root into Y. So putting this value, perimeter also 13.24. And what is hydraulic radius? It is nothing by area by weighted perimeter. So obviously the perimeter B plus uh, 2 square root of y, it is the just weighted perimeter, that is the along the surface of the water only, that portion we have taken, not the whole section we have taken the perimeter. So ultimately R is obtained as 1.19 meter. Now you apply the Manning's formula and find out the Q, as we are putting all the values in the required values of the parameter in the Manning's formula. Finally, Q are obtained as 12.93 Qmax, which is slightly less than the required value of 13 Qmax. So Q equal to 13 Qmax, which is slightly because what is the requirement of Q? The requirement of Q is 13 Qmax. The requirement of Q is 13 Qmax, and this channel section with an assumption of the 1.5 meter depth of water, what we have obtained, we have obtained 12.93. So it is marginally less than 13 Qmax, which is required. So increase the bed width, because it will be not inadequate section to carry the 13 Qmax, because it is less than 13 Qmax, means 13 Qmax will not be suited for this section. So what we have to do? We have to do, this is a trial error process, you have to increase the bed width slightly, like B from 9 meter, which you have assumed, to 9.1 meter. If you increase the B equal to 9.1 meter, then obviously the whole keeping the water depth 1 meters same, the area I am going to increase, that is 15.9 meter, perimeter is going to increase, R is going to increase. Definitely the carrying capacity Q now it is 13.05 Qmax, which is now it is okay, as because it is greater than the 13 Qmax, which is the required discharge. So in that way, by trial process, 1 or 2 steps, you have to finalize the trapezoidal or open drain section for confirming the design carrying capacity of the draining water, that is the storm water. Now for maximum velocity, one velocity has to be checked for the maximum velocity. Now velocity generated in the drain at peak discharge, that is velocity, we know that Q by A, that is 13 by what is the A, 15.9, that means that 0.81 meter per second, that velocity is generated with this discharge, and which is less than the maximum permissible velocity 0.9 meter per second, that also have checked. Hence use a trapezoidal drain section with bed width of 9.1 meter. If suppose it is seen that the velocity generated is more than the maximum velocity, permissible velocity, then what would happen? Then again you have to go on increasing the size of the channel. But here we have seen it is less than 0.19 meter. So let us stop here. That this is the, now the design is proven. Use a trapezoidal drain section. We can conclude with a bed width of the 9.1 meter and water depth of 1.5 meter with 1:1 side slope and along a longitudinal slope of 1 in 3000. So this is the design of the channel just I have described to you. Okay. Open drain channel, some sort of different problems I have shown. Now I am showing you another problem. A different type of problem I am showing you, and I think the very important problem from your exam purpose. This is a problem of the combined sware, generally comes in your semester exam. So the conception will be much more clear, because that will tackle not only the storm sware but also the sewage water also. So a combined way you have to think. So conception much more will be clear. So these are the data inputs are given. This is my last problem in this module 3 for closing this lecture, that is the hydraulic design of the sware. So we have a lot of numericals we have gone through this, and this is my last problem which I want to show you for much more creating the clarifications from either the sewage part as well as the stormwater part of the designs. Now area is given as 120 hectares. Fine. Population is given. Permissible flow velocity, that is maximum permissible velocity, is given. Time of entry of the stormwater is given. Time of flow is given. So that means the time of concentration is given. because POC two component it is given in the question. Per capita water supply is given. Coefficient of runoff C, which will be uh, needed for the rational formula for determining the discharge of the storm discharge, that is also given. Hourly maximum rainfall for the area at the design frequency, that is also given. Hourly maximum rainfall for the area that is given, and any other data. Definitely it is the problem oriented design, so in design you can consider any data required to design purposes. Consideration and assumption of the data which is not given in the problem, that may be taken care from your end. First of all, the average water supply I have found out in QMax. It is given in day. Just I have found out in QMax multiplying with the capita, that is 250 is the given liters per day per person, and population is given. So liter per capita into capita give you the total distribution of water, that is the total water supply, that you have find out that just multiplying the per capita into the number of person, and obviously converted into the second from hour to day to hour to second. So divided by 24 divided by 60 divided by 60. Ultimately, it is giving 0.289 QMax. That is the average water supply. Now, average, assuming that 80% or 80% of the water supplied appears as sewage. This was discussed in a very preliminary lecture, that because all that water which is being reached to you is not the wastewater. Some portion you are using, that is not wastewater. So let us assume that 80% of the water supply appears as sewage. So 80% of the 0.289, that is 0.23 QMax. And finally, as I told you, there is a peak factor. Since there are seasonal fluctuations are there, hourly fluctuations there, daily fluctuations are there. So you have to multiply with the peak factor, that is the maximum storage discharge for design purpose. You have to multiply 3 times here, that is 0.69 QMax. So that is the end of that portion, that is the sewage discharge we have calculated. Now let us come for the determination of the stormwater discharge. The fundamental thing, again and again I am telling, first the time of concentration you have to clear. Inlet time plus flow time is the time of concentration, that 30 minutes is given in the questions. We have just added the two factors, and the intensity is given also 5 centimeter per hour. Now 5 centimeter per hour, actually it is given, but we have a relationship for the with the time of concentration with the intensity. That means PC equal to P0 into this. So this formula will give the PC equal to 6.67 centimeter per hour. This actual rainfall intensity you can get 6.67 centimeter per hour using this formula. Now you apply the rational formula, that is 1 by 36 kPCA, where PC sometimes it is called I intensity. So 1 by 36 K is given in the question. PC we have found out 6.67 rainwater intensity, into A is hectare. Always it is given in 120 hectare, and the formula is built in the unit of hectare area. So ultimately it will give 10 QMax of that storm discharge. Here we will not use anymore the peak factor or multiply factor, because that is the exact discharge which will be formed due to the raining. So combining this 10 QMax plus earlier we have found out 0.69, that is the maximum sewage flow. If you remember, again I am showing you that 3 types of 0.23, 0.69. So adding those things, adding to flow for designing the combined sewage system. So combined discharge 10.69 QMax is coming. Now assuming sewer is running full at the maximum velocity at 3 meter per second at the time of maximum flow. So we have Q by V. Say consider it is, although it is a partial flow, but we are assuming that in the running full the maximum velocity will be maintained over here. So that means what will be the area required? Area is Q by V. So Q you have got, V no. So area required. Now diameter, what will be the diameter? Pi square by 4. So from the diameter you can find out the 2.13 meter is the sweat diameter, that is the combined sweat diameter. So that is the very important problem, which I must say is a very important and probability for coming in the exam purpose. Not only the exam purpose, this problem will definitely give you a clear conception about what is the sewage drainage, what is the sewage, what is the stormwater design, how it can be integratedly designed in a single sewage system. So all these various problems, including the open drain channel, combined system, separate system of the sewer, has been discussed in details. Following how to see the nomograms related with that Manning's equation, how to see that comparison chart, how to see the tabular form of that proportion value to get the proportion value. That detailed discussion has been taken place, and that is the end of the hydraulic design of the sewer, which is included